no. So on TikTok, it was the 5.4 mil one. That was the biggest one lately. Then I had almost a half a mil and then 150. When I posted the 151, 150K, that's when I saw all of a sudden email. I'm like, yo, like, okay.
And so you have, go ahead.
I say that just means that they're going to the link tree. That means they're going to the train, like to fill out for training. Like, it's
yeah, bro. I mean,
it
did
could
you
be
look
from
at the
IG
stats?
too. It could be from IG too, but what's
I mean, the stats for IG, right, is literally, almost 20,000 plays, almost 1,400 likes, but then we had 160 shares, 170 saves.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what Instagram likes. So
yeah, and then the last couple that me and you both have collabed on and posted, they've all like it's all 200K plus.
Yeah,
which is like it's crazy,
collab works.
It
works.
it does.
I appreciate it because I'm in the thick of it, so content is a little limited for me. So
yeah,
definitely...
same here. I'm in the thick of it too. So to create content and a good piece of content, like, is definitely like it can be difficult. And like, so I had a Tesla in there, and it's like, man, I really want to film this right, but I can only do it quick. And so I still was able to get something out before, after ish style. But it wasn't to kind of maybe what I wanted it to be, with maybe a nice voiceover explaining, so we have a Tesla Model Y and it's a 1-inch dent, and go in depth with it. It's like, no, here, this is what I had to do. And I try to make it as nice as possible. But
that's the beauty of like TikTok. What you like is because you can do those voiceovers, and it's common practice now. So it's not looked as bad or even good. It's just a video may have a voiceover, and that's to be expected now with TikTok and Instagram, the real side, right? So now you can actually record, don't have to put much thought into the actual video editing and what you want to display. Just record it all, and then take the pieces that you need and make sure the customer gets their car back at the time that you...
That's probably the hardest part. Making sure, I mean, the hard to me is like making sure you get all of the content, because you can make that piece whenever, as long as you have the content. Like, of course, I think, I don't know, me and you maybe both, but like, I want to get it out that day. If not that day, the next day. I want to get it out. Maybe because I don't have anything in the pipeline or whatever it may be, but like, I want to get that out just because I'm proud of it. I'm excited about it. I know it's going to be a good video. But yeah, sometimes you're just like, I gotta wait. Like, even the hatch that I did that on Thursday last week. I only was able to get it out. I got it out on TikTok, I think Monday morning, and I didn't get it on IG until yesterday. But I did it Thursday, and I was like kind of waiting all weekend, and I'm like, when can I post it? And I wasn't involved. Like, I had other things to do this kind of weekend. So yeah, that was, to me, I felt guilty not being able to post it because I made it and I had the content. But I finally got it out, and I'm looking at it now, 20K. 20.
Dopamine hit, boy. That
yeah. And I'm looking at it, right? So I posted yesterday. I'm like, 20K, and it was crazy because I remember when 10K was like, yo, Chris, my video went to 10K.
Yeah.
And this
now
is at
20,
and I'm like
24 hours.
And I'm still like, now I'm like, 20.
I want that mill.
Yeah, because when you reach that milestone, it's nice that you kind of want to reach that again or create similar content around that again. And but yeah, we've been doing fairly well on IG Reels, I'll say that. Now, whether that's completely converting as far as like leads, I'm not too sure. But
so I noticed that our messaging after that one reel that we just posted, if for anyone's listening, that was August 24th, 2022. I mean, it's August 23rd we posted that, 2022. And Dave did a wonderful job on this smash deck lid of a, what is that, RAV4?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was
Yep.
just, that was crazy. But anyway, yeah, that I probably received 15 to 20 messages since less than 24 hours now. So now Dave is unique because you do a lot on TikTok. So it's a lot of that content is reused on Instagram. I think if you want to see all Dave's latest and greatest and up to date stuff, it's probably best to follow him on TikTok as of today. But yeah, I'm only on Instagram, and so I only can speak on the leads that come through Instagram. I'm just not that committed to TikTok.
And I think that's okay because I am seeing, and I was listening to another podcast. I forget who it was, but like when you're dealing with the demographic, like between
Yeah,
current Instagram and TikTok, like Instagram is going to be a better lead
yeah, for sure.
now
And
with like the
that's yeah,
demographic. It's going to be a better lead overall. Than TikTok. What I'm still seeing too is like the kid shows parent TikTok, and the parents like, oh, that actually, like, I can probably use that for my vehicle. Let me see. Um, but as we were just talking about, TikTok has been great for training. You know,
very
we're
good,
getting a lot
very
of
good.
leads for training on the TikTok side, which I also think is a great demographic for it. You're dealing with a
Yes,
younger crowd who maybe doesn't know what they want to do, or they're in this like limbo mode. I get like a lot of comments on here. Should I do auto body? Should I do this? And it's like, I'm not trying to steer someone in one certain direction. They are both great career paths. Um, if you want to, try training and for PDR, then by all means, fill out a
let's
form.
get it done. Yeah,
We'll get you some information around it, and you can kind of make that decision to see if that's going to work for you. But yeah, that's
it's,
what I've been seeing with the training side of things. Is TikTok is a great lead generator for that compared to Instagram. But
yeah,
Instagram is great lead generator for actual leads, cars being repaired. So
yeah.
they both
I,
have their, I think,
but
places for sure.
when you compare it to stuff like Google Ads, um, TikTok and Instagram and building a following, building an audience there, I think it will rival for sure Google Ads. Now you would, instead of spending the actual monetary with ads, you got to invest the time to build a Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah, but I think the great part is no
but it's
monetary side.
right, right. So
If someone's starting a business, a lot of these, PDR guys in the beginning, it's like stuff gets tight.
yeah,
Like
right,
monetary is thin. So
yeah,
like if like okay, so how can I get money in without spending? Like it is social. And I think we preached this on plenty of
oh yeah,
podcasts
for
that
sure,
we've
for sure.
recorded, that social is it, and it's still here. Like we probably did a social episode, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and it's like we're still kind of preaching the same things,
Same thing.
because
Yep.
it's still here to stay, and we see are the benefits from actually utilizing it in the
And
proper way too.
and honestly, you're not just running ads based on location in your area. You're actually sharing the the, the experience of PDR, the what PDR can do for everybody across the nation, basically. So it's not this selfish thinking that ads can bring, because all you're trying to do is beat out the next guy that's in the next town over. You're bringing PDR up as a whole, like you're lifting the entire ships
Yeah,
of the ocean. Like,
yeah.
so that's one of the reasons why I preach social media. Guys, get on social media. It's because a few guys just can't do it. It needs a village. It needs a village of dent guys to show the insurance that this is possible, to show future customers that this is possible, and so that we rival and we stand right beside a body shop. And that's where I feel like, I don't want to go down a tangent here, but that's what I feel like PDR is going. It's going to be the alternative for a body shop.
Yeah. And
And that,
video too. And like the most important thing is, like, to me, it's like it's video content to
yeah.
show
Oh, for
that.
sure, for
The
sure.
pictures have kind of gone away. I think pictures are great for showing the establishment, showing the company, maybe showing a tool or two. But video, as far as people watching and listening, and like that is, which I know people are very uncomfortable with.
Yeah,
like
but you
creating
got
video
yeah.
around it. But you start with the 1 or 2, it gets kind of rocky. But after, when you're into like 10 and 12, like those are way different than 1 and 2, and 20 and 30 are different than 10 and 12. And it does get better. You start to kind of hone into your style.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and just mimic someone else first. For the first thing, mimic someone else's style. Obviously, they put in an effort to see what pops, and then venture off, do your own thing.
Yeah. And I
So
mean, a tip that I would give, and it's kind of my cadence with all video. And I think you have, I mean, we kind of all have the same somewhat cadence. You show the before, you maybe show the tool, you show how you're going to access it, you fix it, and you show the after. Like it's
yeah, it's pretty
fairly
straightforward.
plain, like it's
Yeah.
fairly simple, like 4 to 6 steps, like top 6. But like, yeah, you're just showing these little tidbits, you cut it all down and you deliver it. And that is enough to show a customer either that you are the capable company that they want to go with, or at least the process, to where if they're somewhere else, not where you are, that, hey, I need to find someone who does it like this.
Yeah, and what I notice is if someone just watched even a TikTok, and they normally don't watch one TikTok, they watch a few, and so they get comfortable how that process works, and it's less explaining when they do come in the door or when they do call. They're already committed. They know you. Most of the time, they probably ask for you by name, and once they see that familiar face when you're there,
Yeah.
it's a no brainer. They're already said yes, so
Yeah.
no issues there.
Yeah.
Bear with me, Dave. I gotta turn this thing down here. I don't know how to work my phone. Just trying to turn it off. Let me just take the batteries out. Done.
But yeah, I mean, like, I've gotten the, do you run the TikTok channel? Do you run the IG page? Yes, yes, I do. And I know you got it through YouTube, right? Oh, I've seen you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, Yesterday, great example. I had a customer, and I could kind of feel it off of the bat. This was his pride and joy. It's kind of one of these newer Hyundai Elantras, but it's the newer one, like the N version, I think they call it, which it's got all the aesthetics. It's got the black
Mm-hmm.
wheels, the black moldings, and the
Yeah, it
stuff like
looks
that,
pretty
right?
cool.
So that was kind of his baby, and he had backed into his garage. So the antenna snagged the edge of the garage and made a crease all the way across the roof, and pulled the antenna up. And so he had a body shop estimate before that. I said, look, please go to the body shop estimate, just kind of see what they're going to get, which to me, I'm like, please go to the body shop so they could tell you that process. And then come here and I'll let you know how it goes. I could tell by the way I was explaining it. I don't say I wasn't comfortable. Maybe I was speaking like too fast and maybe all over the place. Um, because he asked me a question, and that's when I kind of knew his hesitancy was, how long you been in business? And I'm like, oh,
Mm.
why are you asking me that? To me, that when someone asks me how long I've been in business, it's questioning my kind of authority, right? Like, this is obviously my domain. This is what we do every day. You're questioning that. How long you been in business? So, I kind of went down my path, and um, regardless of my experience, when you say the location's only been open for a year, that still kind of gets people kind of nervous in a sense, rather than somewhere it's been 20 years, right? Like that obviously sounds better. You've been here for 20 years, you're standing, you guys know what you're doing. When I say 1 year, it's kind of like, oh, okay. And so I'm explaining everything went well. And he said he was going to go through insurance. So I didn't write an estimate, because I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that estimate. I'm going to give it to the insurance company. When we have the claim number, we're going to deal with that all on our end. You just have to make the decision if we are the right company to deal with the insurance and actually repair your vehicle, not even deal with the insurance. And so he gets to the desk here, and I'm kind of still going over stuff, and we're talking about touch-up paint and this and that. And he goes, so do you have any pictures of your work or anything? And I've talked about it before. I usually have the YouTube videos of ours playing on the TV. Today I didn't, or
The
yesterday I
one
didn't.
day.
Yeah, I know. I had the news going or whatever. So, and so typically I can reference the TV where we are fixing something, and it
Which is
shows
social media.
myself or
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah. And so I said, hey, if you're digitally inclined in any way, you can go to YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. He goes, oh. And then I referenced 60,000 subscribers. Oh. And I said, look, there's over 250 plus videos, maybe over 300 videos on there of myself and my partner repairing videos. So you can get comfortable with the process. You can comfortable with us and how we perform the process. And you can see before, after, stuff like that. So I really highly recommend you do that. And maybe I should have, like, if you have a second, I could have pulled it up on the
Yeah,
TV,
that's what I do.
right? I
Yeah.
could have done that if it wasn't already playing, and I really rather have it already there so I can just instantly reference it. But I could feel his hesitancy overall with, he wanted his car repaired, right? So I know he's gonna probably go home and do a little bit more research.
Right,
Um,
but back to what this topic is, like having that content, having that
yeah,
audience
to
that
reference to,
right,
yeah,
it's super important.
yeah,
And it shows confidence too, that you're able to put your work out there
yeah,
and stand confident that you're exposing yourself, the company, and how you operate to potential customers, and they respect that. I, I'll ask you a question though. When the customer says, "How long you been in business?" I look at it a little differently. I look at it as they are questioning, why haven't they heard of you? Why haven't they heard of this
mm,
process?
mm,
And so I don't feel any type of way. It's more, I feel like they're just trying to figure out, is this a new thing, or should I be worried because it's a new thing, or
ah,
I just never heard of something. And so I would follow up, literally, what makes you ask that question? And then that way you get more clarity around why he's asking that question, because he's gonna either say, I just want to stay with a reputable shop where they have decades of experience, or you may say, honestly, I just never heard of this whole process. This is all new. I found it on TikTok. I need to actually see if
yeah,
this
that makes
even
sense,
works.
actually.
You
Yeah,
know?
no,
And
that does make
so,
sense.
and
Yeah, I guess
so
I took that personally, I guess, and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
sometimes where I need to not do that, and it
yeah,
could, like you said, it could just be a very general, like, I've never heard of this. And it's
yeah.
still, I mean, I think, as we all know, as PDR technicians, uh we know that this process still isn't
Yeah,
in the ears of everyone, or in the eyes of
right.
everyone.
But we
So
forget though, because we're
we've been,
consumed with it, right? If you go on our Instagram, that's all we see
yeah,
is dang
yeah,
stuff.
you think it's
So
everywhere.
it's everywhere. I don't know why you haven't heard of this, sir
Yeah,
or ma'am. So
yeah.
yeah, but having for the people that I guess are thinking about jumping on a platform, Dave, what is your favorite platform to
If I was going to start right now,
contribute to?
if I was going to start right now, it's something new. Instagram, it's the easiest.
Hmm. Why
And
is it the easiest?
I think it's the easiest because if you're not comfortable with the video, you can still at least have start building some sort of portfolio with photo. Then you get
Gotcha.
comfortable with the video side, even though photo is still kind of getting drowned out a little bit. It's the easiest to start creating a portfolio of content, and then you can start branching out into the others. Um, Facebook is kind of making a comeback a little bit with the way they're kind of doing pages and fan pages and stuff like that. So that is something, and I think a lot of people, if you've ever touched a social media platform, it's most likely Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Um, but the
And if,
way, it delivers um, your business page, I think that, and starting with Instagram, you can still take it to your
to
Facebook
Facebook,
anyway,
right, right.
so it's okay. So I think Instagram is the platform for that, the one that I would start first. Um,
Yeah,
Once you get comfortable with that, creating content, starting with the photos, then dabbling with the video, then you could dabble with the voiceover and the audio stuff. You can then take those same systems and processes and put it on a TikTok. And that would be the probably second one that I would branch into is TikTok. LinkedIn is definitely, like, has its own place too. I
yeah.
was talking to the owner of Kiko this weekend, and I know he's actually heavily invested in LinkedIn, and that's where a lot of body shop owners and stuff are on. The one that we were dealing
Nice.
with this weekend was um,
A
talking
LinkedIn
about
lead.
LinkedIn, and I'm like, interesting. I ended up befriending him on Facebook, but he had
Mhm.
mentioned LinkedIn this weekend, and I'm like, huh, okay. And that kind
Yeah,
of sparked a little, maybe I should dive a little deeper into LinkedIn. I have the content. Why not start
but
putting stuff there and grab a actually kind of like almost a verified lead from that, whether
yeah,
it's a shop, whether it's a regular person. But
and I think you mentioned it before. It depends on the audience that you're going after, right? We know TikTok is most likely the kid is going to share it with their parent.
parents, yeah,
But what will happen in 10 plus years, the people that are on TikTok are probably going to stay on TikTok. There are people who are just religiously on Snapchat. I kind of missed that boat.
yeah,
Instagram was my thing. Actually, Facebook-ish was my thing, but it got where the we call it the soccer moms were on Facebook, so we quickly got out of it and went to Instagram, and that's kind of been my outlet as a 37ish man. I'm like, Instagram, let's rock. I'm not into this TikTok crap. But
you're a
yeah,
consumer, no?
Do I consume?
You're more of a consumer of TikTok rather than a producer.
So I don't even have the TikTok app on my phone.
You've deleted it?
I deleted it.
Christopher
I know,
Ray.
it's crazy.
Come on.
So I had to catch myself. If there's anything that I consume the most is YouTube, right? And so they kind of came out of left field for me. And when I have my that I call it toilet time, I go to YouTube. Where Dave, you probably go to TikTok. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's just Dave. You're
32. 32. That's a 5 year.
So it's a 5-year difference. I feel like I have a mind of like a 42-year-old though. So,
right.
So there's probably like a 10-year difference in just the way my mind thinks. But yeah, Instagram just seems to be my go-to. And I think, if you're on LinkedIn and you're trying to capture body shops, of course, that's the platform. But if you're trying to capture insurance companies, yeah, maybe that works. But if you're trying to capture the soccer moms or the people that are just driving around your neighborhood or in your area that have dents, to me, it's going to be Facebook and Instagram. The kids, so fast forward 5 years, it's going to be TikTok. And there'll be some other platform that you would need to jump on to make sure that you are relevant, right? And so, but don't get overwhelmed for anybody that's listening to this, because you could build content that you can go across all platforms.
Correct.
And I think the reason why this is important is I am not going to send a TikTok or Instagram link to a 60-year-old male or female that comes into my shop. I'm most likely going to use that content, reuse that content on my YouTube, and then send them a YouTube link. If the person is mid-30s, I'm going to send them an Instagram link. If they're young, well, I'm going to send them one of Dave's links on TikTok. But, and we know TikTok, a lot of, I call it soccer moms, but I'm trying to give you that genre of person, that avatar in your head. But just that not necessarily stay-at-home mom, but those contributors, those bloggers, like they're on TikTok. And in this area, there's just a lot of them. So TikTok is starting to become the new Angie's List type customer. Yeah. So it's young, and then it's that mid 40s, 30s woman.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. Just go over demographics, but that's where I see TikTok, actually where the strength of TikTok is.
So we haven't. So in this little short amount of time, we haven't talked about YouTube.
Okay. Yep.
Where do you feel, and how do you feel about YouTube in its current state, with either PDR or just overall how you've utilized it or not utilized it? What do you think about YouTube right now?
The content style has changed. The long form content is really, really taking a beating right now. And it's really comes down to just purely algorithm. And right now, I feel like the strongest algorithm is TikTok. That's why you're able to grow so fast. Dave, I think you started TikTok less than a year ago, and you're rivaling like one of the top channels in PDR space. And so you cannot do that with YouTube. You cannot do that with Instagram. You can be creative, and then anybody in that area that searches, you could kind of be number 2, 3, or 4, but the top guys, it's gonna take consistency to get there. TikTok, you can do it a lot faster. Now, Dave, you spoke on the new algorithms for Facebook and the way they're doing things, and I think that's going to roll over to Instagram. So in 3 months, I think Instagram, or 6 months, Instagram is going to be like the next TikTok, how it was in the beginning of TikTok, and that's all it needs. And whichever platform gets the most eyeballs, you as a creator and as a business owner have to be on that platform. Just because I don't have it downloaded doesn't mean it won't work. But back to YouTube, YouTube is the second largest search engine. Mm-hmm. And so,
and the way it pops up in Google,
yeah, you got the Google integration. People are more
Yeah.
comfortable to click on a YouTube link than a TikTok link. It has that authority. Um, and you just need to do, I've watched full channels on YouTube actually be created and have 1 million followers purely on shorts, which is basically reels and basically TikTok. So the exact same platform. You have to watch your copywriting issues. So the music that you use, you have to watch that. But if you're just doing voiceovers, understand that your audience may be a little younger on TikTok, so you may want to do 2 voiceovers, but put that content on YouTube, and in every bottom of every email, hey, check out, if you have a minute, check out our most recent repair,
Yeah.
and you just put your best 1 minute repair video, and that will say a lot as someone is trying to decide to schedule with you, or if that price is right. You show them a little 1 minute repair on YouTube. You're committed. You're exposing yourself, and I think that's just genuine in a customer's eyes. Where a body shop doesn't even allow you to step behind the counter. You don't know what
Yeah.
they do back there.
Yeah.
So,
And I think you said that's key in the bottom of that email. I actually have all of my socials linked, and they're hyperlinked. Whichever one you feel comfortable with, pick one.
pick one. Yeah.
If you have that app on your phone, it's going to open up in that app. And it literally goes Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And that's kind of the authority that I feel that people are going to click. If they have Facebook, they probably have Instagram, then Instagram, maybe not. If they don't have those two, then okay, YouTube, TikTok's last.
But
And
you can get
so,
a little more creative by saying, I'll try to find a video. If I know the guy's on the fence, or if it's a good lead, I just say, hey, this is a repair that's similar to yours. Check it out. Go
yeah,
to, 4 minutes and 50 seconds to show you how we take apart the car. And that's like unique to him.
yeah,
And I just feel like YouTube is just better at that, because as soon as they click on it, they can watch a video. TikTok might have it, I'm not too sure, but with Instagram, they don't want you to do that. If you don't have Instagram, it prompts you to sign in, log in, all this craziness. So
mm-hmm.
for me, I kind of specialize that message just very quickly, because we've all worked on similar dents, and it doesn't take that long to just grab a video, or just say, hey, this is our latest repair on a Tesla. So if you just stay even with the brand, we do get a lot of Teslas, and they're a little hesitant. It's just, it is what it is, the landscape that we're in. And I just said, hey, this is, we do a few Teslas a week, but this is our latest repair on a Tesla Model 3. And they just feel comfortable that another person, and like I said, that platform, YouTube, really helps that out. And if I'm looking at a link, I would rather go to YouTube. And if I'm looking at several links, hyperlinks, it's kind of like, I don't know which one to pick, or it's just a generic bottom, footer, the closer for the email. But if I put in the body of the email, check out this repair, gives you more insight of our entire process. It only takes 1 minute. Boom. I know they're going to click on that more so than just your
Yeah.
signature
So
links.
overall, I mean, I think the key point to this entire episode is going to be just create content. Start building that portfolio. Pick a platform. Start small. You can revise everything. You can archive old things if you don't like them later on, but at least just start creating content around repairs, around your business, and that's going to be probably the key point to take away overall from this episode.
It pays dividends, hands down. We track all our leads. We have a total numbers every month of what comes in from what, because of the form. So we just do a quick form, total leads, and then we do which leads created sales. And by far, social media rivals ads tremendously. And if you're strapped for cash and you're still in the growing stages, put in that work. Dave, I don't know if Dave wants you to copy him, but honestly, he has the
Please
recipe,
do.
and we're gonna probably put a PDF together.
Yeah, exactly. I have a cadence that I follow. There's certain little tweaks that I do per video. And then when it comes down to hashtagging and stuff like that, there's kind of certain things that I do. So I think I am going to put a PDF or a little ebook together for someone a little guide on how to create a nice short form, not long form, short form piece of content for you to deliver into your market.
Yeah. And guys, it's about the journey, man. It's not about the destination. So Don't get
The goal of these videos is
intimidated.
not
Yep.
virality. It's not
Yep.
virality. It's not to go viral. It's
Yep.
not for monetization either. It's purely education and exposure.
Yep. So appreciate the journey. Just put your head down and definitely keep at it. 1 video, 2 video, 3 video. I mean, just keep at it. Look at Dave's consistency, and that's what wins. We all know that, right? We've all trained PDR. We know the guys that stopped training because they weren't consistent, but the guys that put together a schedule and say for 3 to 4 hours a day, I'm going to keep pushing or at least keep training. Those are the guys that are actually PDR technicians, and most of the people who are listening to this understand that, and that's the work that you have to put in. And out of respect, that's how it should be. You shouldn't just be able to just put 1 video and goes viral. That's just unfair for everyone else. So, but yeah, man, I'm glad we're back on these podcasts, though.
I agree.
Cool
This is fun. Cool. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.
Peace.